Weather's just taken an absolute intense turn here. Wasn't really expecting that to happen. I was underneath this cover, just sitting over here. And the rain's just came on. It's thundering, a bit of lightning now at this point, so I had to quickly hide, relocate my laptop because the rain was coming on. But how's it going, everybody? It's Saturday, the 1st of August. We're in a new month. I don't have coffee this morning. Instead, I've just got a little bit of fresh water. Hopefully you don't hear the rumbling too much behind me. This is a bit of a regular occurrence here. In Malaysia, it comes on all the time. It just happens, but thought I would get back to doing a live. Haven't done one of these in a couple of weeks now, just with Yvonne and I travelling around. It's felt like we've bounced around locations for the last couple of weeks now. A little bit quicker than we normally do. Normally we're kind of in one location for like a month or more. And this time around we've kind of been relocating between Kuala Lumpur and Penang, travelling around on the train. We did a house sit. We went back to do a house sit, which I just talked about in the last couple of videos. Looking after the same two little dogs that we were looking after previous. And I plan to make a video in the next few days, or at least in the next week, just to kind of talk about, like, when you do those house sits, just kind of what impact it has directly on those finances of that time period. Normally I just do a month wrap up, but this time I think I'll do just focusing on the actual house sit itself, that time period, and what it means to kind of the money. Excuse me a second. My throat's gone a bit dry. Yvonne and I were out last night in Kuala Lumpur. We met up with some viewers of the channel, Lee and Sarah, who are from the UK and are travelling and found themselves here in Kuala Lumpur. So Yvonne and I went and met them yesterday. We met up at 2:00, and the goal was we'd go for coffee. And I think we eventually departed at like 9:30 or something last night. We were in a bar having a little cider and a bite to eat, but the air conditioning was blasting. It's left me feeling a little bit dry in the throat. And Yvonne's not with me because she's actually in bed. She's unwell. She's been unwell for a few days. She's got a bit of a flu going on. So she's in the bedroom relaxing just now whilst I'm here, having coffee or water with you guys. So how's everybody doing? Let me know in the comments. Hello, Peter. How you doing, mate? Tuning in from Thailand. Can you please talk a bit more in the depth about the changes on YouTube that you briefly mentioned? Absolutely, yeah. So the YouTube platform has been changing quite a lot. I don't want this to sound like one middle-aged guy that started a channel suddenly moaning about it. There is a real trend in terms of content creators talking about the challenges on the platform recently. I've seen very small creators like myself all the way up to channels with over a million subscribers. I think probably one of the biggest voices in all of this has actually been Mr. Beast, right? The platform's biggest creator. And it seems that YouTube has changed the algorithm in some ways. That means that unless titles and thumbnails and click-through rates and all of these things are activating very quickly after a post happens, then the video dies a very quick death. I've seen that on some of my own recent videos. God, the downpour. Can you hear that? I've got like a little silence on my streaming service here. I'm curious if you can hear the rain that's coming down by. You can obviously see it behind me, right? The rain is absolutely bouncing down. It's only just came on. Thank you. The gentleman that runs this apartment complex has put the lights on for me. Thank you. You want to say hello? He's saying hello. There you go. It's a man who hosts this place that we're staying in just now in Kuala Lumpur. You can't hear it. Thanks, Peter. I have a little effect on the streaming software that I use that kind of dulls it down, but there's thunder and lightning and all sorts going on round about me. Right, back to the YouTube conversation. So a lot of creators have been talking about over the last couple of months a real drop-off in views and that's obviously impacting earnings. I think I've honestly come out to host this live stream in the middle of a proper thunderstorm. It's kind of going back and forth here. And one of the areas that's been impacted on YouTube has been the discoverability metric, which means like when YouTube pushes a video out. So let me break this down, right? I have 21,000 subscribers on my channel. When I post a video, 21,000 people are not notified that you have a new video. YouTube tests it with a very small portion. And the theory is that that could be a couple of hundred, sometimes in batches of like 200, 400, maybe as big as 1,000 people. It tests the videos with that audience. And it also defines what that video topic is about. So AI reads it, right? So if I give you an example, on my channel, I try and always have 3 pillars of topics. And what I mean by that is that I kind of see myself as a bit of a lifestyle reinvention channel, right? I'm 48. I've lost my job. I've gone through a grief phase of losing my dad, and I'm trying to reestablish myself in later life. So there's a bit of lifestyle reinvention. I talk about money. I talk about my financial situation in terms of what things cost, how much my cost of life is, how much I earn on YouTube. And beyond all of that, I kind of talk a little bit about health, right? So those are like 3 pillars that I try and cover every month in my content. And then the travel aspect of it all, right? Locations where we are, whether that's Thailand or whether that's Kuala Lumpur, is really the backdrop of those 3 pillars. That's how I mentally think about my channel. So when I'm making a video, I'm normally thinking about one of those 3 pillars. And in the middle of all of that, there's just some general updates, right? A day in the life and those kind of things. But generally, there's the 3 pillars. Now, if you come to my channel and you see a video about me talking about the cost of living in Malaysia and you subscribe to the channel, YouTube and the YouTube algorithm knows that you joined this channel and chose to subscribe off the back of a finance pillar video within my structure. That means that the next time I make a video where I go out and I have a roast beef dinner and I post that video, even though you've subscribed to my channel as a whole, YouTube might not send you my video because it knows that you subscribed for the finance side of my channel. So it might not show you the roast beef dinner, but if somebody joined because I've reviewed a roast beef dinner before, it might show them that video. Now, if that person joined and enjoyed a previous roast beef video and sees a new one pop up from me and decides that they don't want to watch it, YouTube starts to decide that it's not going to show anybody that video, and suddenly the fall off starts to happen. Now, over the last 3-4 months, YouTube has even changed that testing phase. It used to be a 72-hour window, so 72 hours worth of continually testing the video. And now that's been reduced down to 24 hours. So there's a whole host of like parts of the algorithm that's kind of going into how far the video gets pushed. And if I give you an example, 3 months ago, my channel was averaging somewhere around 200 to 300,000 views. Some months more than that. And this month, that's probably going to be more like 50,000. And the AI that's built into YouTube, which is run by Gemini. When you go into the YouTube studio, you can actually ask it a series of questions. You can ask it like how things are impacting your channel, what discoverability is like, and it will give you answers to that. And what it's basically confirming back to me at this point is that I have a strong base of subscribers that are generally watching videos, but it's not pushing it out to any new people. It's not breaking out of subscribers that are following and pushing beyond all of that. One of the questions that I was asking it recently was about how many active subscribers that I have. So out of the 21,000 that follow the channel, how many of them are actually active on the channel or active on the platform? And here's a number that might surprise you. Of the 21,000, only 13,000 of them are actually active. So that means the rest could be bots, could be dead accounts, could be anything, but they're not revisiting the channel, they're not engaging with any videos. And I watched a channel by a guy called Andy Sigler a couple of days ago, who runs a channel called Popcorn Planet. Has 1 million subscribers. His videos are getting like 10,000 views. He made a video talking about exactly the same topic. And when he was asking Gemini, the AI built into YouTube, what should I do differently? The information that came back was fascinating. It was basically telling him to lie. It was basically telling him to over-exaggerate stories, to turn them into clickbait in order to pull in potential new viewers to his channel. And he basically made this great bit of content about it, highlighting like, this is where the AI is asking me to go with my channel, which is to lie. And it was like his channel's about movie stars and actresses. So it was talking about like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's current divorce that's going on. And it was saying to him, oh, try this title, try this idea, do this. And all of it was like kind of made up news. And he was saying he's not comfortable at doing that. He's built a channel on integrity. It's quite fascinating. So without rambling too much about all of that, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. When I do my next numbers roundup video, I'll include some of this information in it, and I'll create just what it's like to interact with the AI on the platform itself and the things that you can ask it and the answers that it gives you back. It's just the same as like ChatGPT or Claude. Well, Google's own version is called Gemini, and it's built into YouTube now. So I can go on as a creator and ask it questions. Right, let me scoot back and see what else is going on. We've got Julie here. Good morning, Julie. How you doing? Yeah, Yvonne's got like a bit of a crazy flu that's kicked in. When we travelled back from Penang a few days ago, she started to get a lot of aches and pains in her bones, really. We got to this new location, and then since then, she's just been feeling a bit under the weather. So we went out yesterday, met Lee and Sarah. That was all fine, and then today we're just having a lazy day. So she's in bed relaxing. Well, it's like 5 o'clock at night here now, so she's been kind of chilling out most of the day. Hello, Vicky. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Up in Crieff. I know Crieff well. Been to the Hydro up there and stayed in the hotel complex years ago as a work task. Beautiful location. Crieff Hydro. Diedrich, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us, mate. Yvonne and I were actually just sitting this morning researching. We were considering making a short stay to Amsterdam for a couple of days, travelling through. And the costs of the hotels were absolutely blowing our minds. So I'm not sure if we'll do it now. We were going to stop off in Amsterdam maybe for 2 or 3 days. And the prices that were coming back were like the equivalent of staying here for a month, which is just wild. Do you have any coffee preference? Honestly, I'm not one of these like coffee snobs. I can drink instant. I like to go somewhere for a nice, like a nice independent coffee place for like a good cappuccino. Vietnamese coffee is also super nice. But I don't have like a favorite brand or anything. I'm just, see, you know, like to give you some ideas to like what kind of a man I am. I don't have a favorite aftershave. I don't have a favorite deodorant. I don't do any skincare routine. I don't have like a preference in coffee. When it comes, I don't have a favorite, like, you know, I don't have a favorite beer or, you know, a craft beer or anything. I've zero care on most of that stuff. You can't hear the rain. Okay, that's good. I don't think I can change the settings on this now. There's like a little, give me a second. Let me try this, right? Reduce mic background noise. Let's see if this makes it any different. Right, I've turned the noise cancellation off, so you can tell me now if the rain sounds or the thunder comes through anymore. And if it's annoying, I'll turn it back on. Baz, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. There's a professional photo shoot going on round about me. Of course there is, because, you know. Michael, how you doing, mate? Really good to see you. I mean, I've got a cheek, right? I'm in the garden, taking over the garden to do my live stream, but I thought with the rain I would just get left alone, but Instagram wankers. Never too late. How you doing, mate? Good morning, John. Drinking coffee. A bit of sunshine in Lancashire. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? It's just chilling with a nice coffee down at the beach, taking it easy. Obviously, no beach in Lancashire. I'm just thinking about myself last week when we were in Penang down at the beach. That was very good. Can I ask you, how do you update your passport while travelling? Well, I mean, I don't have to. It's a 10-year passport. I renewed it right as we left last year, so it's only 1 year old. But what you can do while travelling is you can do a paid premium service, and you can go into a consulate and you can pay to get it done, or you can ship it away and get it returned, and you can pay premium to get it done within a short time frame. I've looked into that just as a kind of precaution, but it's not something I'm worried about just now. We've got, 9 years and 2 months to go before I need to worry about it. We took the precaution of making sure we updated our passports right before we left, both Yvonne and I. But you can get a passport, right? If it got stolen or something, you can get a passport. Hello, Craig. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. And I must insist, you have to put the H into the name. Without the H, mate, I can't do it. My name's short enough. My parents didn't have any imagination beyond John, so to shorten it down to 3 letters, mate, it's like a kick in the nuts. You can see this bit here with it running off the roof, and then over here at the pool. So I'm just underneath a little bit of tarpaulin, and the lightning's going above my head as well. Yeah, not a coffee snob. That makes me sad. I know. I definitely, of all the things I worry about, it's being a coffee snob. Oh, you're staying at Crieff Hydro. Oh, nice. What's the accommodation like? It's been years since I've been in it. Yvonne and I have got some friends that kind of annually go to do some celebrations, like an anniversary celebration, and they always talk highly of it. So I was dying to know, is it still, it used to be classed as like the creme de la creme. I'd love to know if it's still the same. Yeah, I know, we'll have a look. We'll have a look, Diedrich, and see what we can do. I had some points available for a hotel chain that I was considering using, so I was maybe going to do it. And then we kind of looked at the outskirts, and we kind of fancied just being in the city for a few days. Yvonne and I have a long history of being in Amsterdam city centre, travelling through when we used to go to the party days, when we used to go to Sensation back in the early 2000s, back in our youth, dressed in white, if you know all about that stuff. Let's see what else is going on. Talking about Europe, I stopped in Zurich before Dubai. Beautiful place, insanely expensive. We are kind of on our loop right now where we're about to leave here in Malaysia. We'll travel to Spain. We're going through Istanbul. And then we were going to leave Spain and maybe go to Amsterdam and then maybe on to Dubai. But I think probably we're waiting on friends coming back to us about Dubai. But I'm kind of hoping we'll be able to do that. And that will actually celebrate a year. It'll be a year's anniversary since we left the UK and went to Dubai last year for 5 days when we kind of made the first escape. So it feels, in my mental mindset, being able to kind of bookend it by starting in Dubai and then starting the new year in Dubai. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Hello, Kyle. How are you doing? Thanks very much. I appreciate your YouTube logo there as well, mate. But thanks very much. I appreciate that. It seems like there's so much going on, and yet at the same time, the video I made yesterday was just kind of talking about life feeling like a little bit calmer. British gas thing is coming to an end, and well, YouTube is up and down. I've had some successes elsewhere, just doing a few other things. So I've got a video posting next week that will give you a 6-month breakdown of all of my finances for January through to June. So I'll talk about my one-to-one calls. I'll talk about Patreon. I'll talk about my stocks and shares, and I'll talk about my YouTube earnings. I'll break it down, and that video will post next week. I've already shot it. It's edited. It's ready to go. I'm just running a little bit ahead. I'm ahead in terms of videos that I've recorded, but I haven't posted them yet. You know the channel, do you? Yeah, Popcorn Palace, is it? Oh, that's it. Is that another channel that he's got about the royal family? Right. So Popcorn Planet is the one about the movie stars and stuff. I was thinking about trying the Baltic countries. Yeah, well, we were debating whether we might go to Georgia and stay in Georgia for I don't know, maybe a few weeks or a month or something. But we're really keen on finishing the year in Thailand or Vietnam or going back to Bali. I'm just trying to make a decision on it all. See what we decide. We're in Malaysia just now. We're in Malaysia. We're at the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur. It's £200 a night. Oh! You are living like a baller, Vicky. You are living like a baller. Good on you. Good on you. I'd love to see what the room looks like. I went there. I wish I could show you the rain that's coming down. Let me see if I could. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that rain coming in. Can you see that rain coming in? Look at that. It's absolutely chucking it down out here. But I'm covered up, so it's all right. But can you hear it on the microphone now? Now that I've turned the noise thing off. But good on you, Vicky. Sounds amazing. I think I was there like 1998 or something for a work conference. And I remember it being super plush, very nice back then. So I hope you're enjoying your stay. Rooms are comfy, but not over the top. So get a big plush bed. It's got a super nice, big, relaxing bed, hasn't it? Baz, do you ever regret leaving the UK? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Yvonne and I have been chatting about this recently. Oh, no. I'm watching what's going on across Europe. We're about to travel to Spain, and I'm absolutely shitting myself. I'm questioning why we're going. I've saw the news. I've seen everything that's going on, and I'm just like, why are we going? But we've committed. But no, I see what's happening in Europe. I've seen what's going on in the UK, and I'm just watching from afar and thinking, we so made the right decision to get out. So no, I don't miss the UK. Company I work for invested just cut their dividend by 55%. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's one that the shareholders will be commenting on, right? I would genuinely love to know who it is, but you don't need to tell me in the comments. It's okay. Come to Poland. I've only ever been to Poland once. I went there DJing years ago. Went to play there in Lodz, I think was the place. Lodz. I think that was where I went to. Went there with a DJ called Lange. Played out there at a massive kind of warehouse. In fact, there's a video on YouTube on my other channel when we playing in Poland years ago. But that was the only time I've ever been. Hello, mate. How you doing? Nice to see you. Lovely weather for it. I'll ask you, right? You're a fairly new YouTuber. How are you finding your time on the platform since you started? Because I come by your channel and I watch your videos that you're making, and I'm on here talking about like how challenging it is, and I realise you've just started, and it must feel difficult right now trying to gain attention and get views, because how difficult the platform seems to have gone in the last months. So I'd love to hear your feedback on it, how you're finding it. Keeping up the motivation, I think, is the main part. Making sure that you stay positive and keep making content. There's always this kind of rule, right, where this is like a bit of an unwritten rule, but it's like you make 10 videos, and of those 10 videos, one of them is going to be like the outlier. So if your videos get 10 views a video, you might get one of those 10 videos that does 100 views. If you get 100 views, you might get one that gets 1,000. Now, let me give you an example. Of my last 10 videos, every single one of them has got around 2,000 views. And I have one video that's done 12,000 views, and that's me having a roast beef dinner with Yvonne. So of all the topics, of all the discussion points, of the travel content, of the money, sitting down and having a roast beef dinner in Malaysia has had 12,000 views, and every other video has had 2,000 views or thereabouts. And this is what I mean by, like, there's this, like, so many YouTubers and content creators talk about, you just keep making, and every now and then YouTube throws one out just a little bit further. Now, I've made 400 videos here, and of the 400 videos, I think 9 of them have done more than 100,000 views. So 9 out of 400 have gone above 100,000 views. A couple of them are shorts, and the rest of them are all long form. And the rest of them have all done anywhere from like 1,000 views to 10,000 views. So it took 400 videos to get. And now the way I would describe this, right? I watched this guy, this channel by a guy called Brian G. Johnson. If you make videos, to the people that make videos here, go and look for a channel by a guy called Brian G. Johnson. G for George, right? Brian G. Johnson. Side tangent here. How many people are called Brian Johnson that have like a profile? AC/DC, the biohacking Brian Johnson, and then you've got this guy on YouTube called, and that's obviously why he changes. He's got his name as Brian G. Johnson, so he separates himself out. But he's got a channel with, I think, 200,000 followers, and he talks about the challenges of YouTube. And I find his channel quite invigorating and quite, inspirational, motivational. His channel's quite motivational, because he's talking about how difficult YouTube is. And sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else, right? Somebody has 200,000 followers. And I look at his videos and they get like 10,000 views. And then every now and then he gets one that's got like 50,000. And I'm like, he's got 200,000 followers. And this again comes back to the point I was making at the beginning of this. 200,000 people don't get sent notifications. In fact, if I understand this rule correctly, you as a viewer, you're only allowed to be sent 3 notifications a day by YouTube. So if you follow 100 channels and 100 channels post videos tomorrow, you only get notified of 3 of them. The 3 that YouTube deems is the most relevant to the topics that you have subscribed to. See the other 97, unless you go into the subscriber page and you go and look for your favorite content creator, or you've got the bell notification and all that shit turned on, you're not going to hear from your content creators. So 3 notifications. So Brian G. Johnson, I go listening to his channel, and I left a comment on a video of his a couple of days ago, and he emailed me to talk about this channel. And he was asking me, like, he sent me a note saying, I've watched some of your videos, and you've kind of talked about a lot of things that most creators would hide from, right? And the video he was talking about there was, I made one called, I've lost 6,000 subscribers and that's okay. And that topic was about the entire duration of this channel. So, 18 months old? In 18 months, I've lost 6,000 subscribers over time. Because you gain some, you lose some, you gain some. People come and watch all different topics. And he was asking me, like, what do you think your kind of current challenge is? And I said to him in my message, I see my channel as having 8, like if I was a band or a musician, I've had 8 hit singles. I've had 8 hit records that brought in the most amount of subscribers and the most amount of views. But I'm trying to figure out how to get people to listen to the whole album. That was the analogy that runs in my head. All of these videos to me are part of an album. And some people just come for one single, listen to the single, and then they never come back. And some people go on the journey with you and they listen to your albums and your concept stuff and your experimental and your new phase and all that shit. But I'm talking to him, right? 200,000 subscribers, 10,000 views on a video. And I'm like, he puts out such great content, just talking about the challenges of this platform and how YouTube right now, well, YouTube full stop, it's set up to make you fail. Unless you keep showing up and making videos, unless you keep working at it and trying to improve and trying to build your audience and unless you do all of that, if you're sporadic, if you're hit and miss, if you get discouraged by it, you're never going to survive here. And I listen to that and I go, okay, keeps my mindset focused on, what I'm trying to do and not get consumed by. Let me give you one last analogy on this, right? My last couple of videos have had 1,000 views. If I spun round now into this garden and there was 1,000 people in here who said, what have you been up to, John? Tell us your story. And I told my story to 1,000 people in here, this garden would be rammed. It would be absolutely rammed. So you can't get lost in the sauce of being like, I need 100,000, I need 200,000. Talking to 1,000 people, talking right now to 30 people in this room is awesome. Like I'm so grateful to people that show up here that want to chat to me on a Saturday afternoon while I sip water in the thunderstorms, post messages and chat about your life, my life, what's going on. 32 people here, like sharing an afternoon. That's the important bit. That's what I keep bringing myself back to. And that's why I go listen to people like Brian G. Johnson. And then Life with Option, I comes by your channel and I see you're just getting going. And I'm like, I hope you keep the right mental aspects to keep making your videos and keep going, because YouTube is set up for you to fail. That's the crux of it. I think it's only like 10% of people on the platform have a monetized account. And of that, it's something like, of the 10%, right? See the people that are actually making income on it. I think it's something like 1% are making like $200 or less a month. That's the bracket I'm in. And then see when you start getting to are actually earning somewhere around 1,000 to 4,000 and earning an income, it's like 0.4% of YouTube. And then see the people that are earning the really big money, it's like 0.1 or less percent are doing that on YouTube. But everybody thinks everybody's making money on this platform, and they aren't. They're not. Where they're making money from is selling you shit. This is where YouTube just becomes the new QVC, and everybody's out to sell you. I made a video a couple of days ago saying I've never had any sponsors on this platform, and then I got a sponsorship offer. I got a sponsorship offer after I made the video saying I've never accepted a sponsorship on this channel yet, and then I got a sponsorship offer. Let me find it, and I'm going to read it out to you, and you can be the judge as to whether I should accept this sponsorship offer, right? As my audience here right now. It says, I won't read out the company, but they're interested in me trying out an ergonomic chair, an office premium ergonomic chair, which is valued at $800, and they want to ship me the chair for me to try out. And I'm wondering, like, have I got room in my storage bag for the ergonomic chair? And where are they going to ship it? So should I accept that sponsorship? Oh man, right. Let me skip on. Do you ever watch Dutch Travel Maniac? I don't know if I know who that is. Is he the guy with the throat tattoos? Is he the guy that kind of does the like street stuff? I could be totally wrong on that. I'm sometimes terrible at remembering the names of things. Would you do a house sitting in the UK? Yes, I absolutely would do a house sitting back in the UK. I met with Sarah and Lee yesterday, Now that I'm thinking about it, I should just shorten that down to Sarah Lee, and then I can remind myself of cakes every time I think about them. Let me tell you a little funny story, right? We go into a bar yesterday, we meet Sarah and Lee, been messaging me, they're on Patreon, they're members here, they're YouTubers, they're travelling around. And I'm sitting in a bar and I'm chatting to them, and Yvonne turns around to me and said, "Why are you calling him Ian?" And I have no idea how long I was calling Lee Ian for, but I mean, it was such a humbling moment where I was like, I'm an absolute fanny. And I had to apologise. And I don't know if it was a one-off. Don't know what happened, but I was thinking about a mate from the UK called Ian, and then I was calling Lee Ian, and I was just stuck in that. So Craig, when you're here and you're calling me John, spelt Jon, and I'm moaning about it, I spent some time yesterday calling Lee Ian. Why did I tell you that? Because they've just done a house sit in the UK recently, and they were telling me the house, it wasn't with any pets in it. There was no pets, and it was a £6 million house that they were sitting in. And I'm like, I mean, that sounds perfect. There was no animals to look after, and it was a £6 million home they were looking after. And I'm like, that sounds like they just won the lottery. That was their first ever house sit. And Yvonne and I get 2 little dogs to look after. One, an absolute sweetheart, and one, a challenge. But yes, we would go back to the UK and do a house sit. I mean, we don't have a house now in the UK, so it would probably be the easiest way to stay there. Vicky, I'm in twin beds with my 13-year-old. That's nice. That's a good way. Do you know, I think very fondly of these moments, spending time with your kids doing these kind of things. I think very fondly back to taking my dad to New York, and we were in twin beds in a room, and I think back to that moment now, like sharing a room with my dad as a grown adult, but just kind of turning back into a small child again, being in the room with him, watching him fall asleep. You know, if we've been out for a few beers or something, a bit of lunch, we come back and he would fall asleep while I'm watching telly. I have such fond memories of that. So you enjoy your time away with your 13-year-old. These moments will live with you forever. It's slow progress. Sometimes I look at the views and I feel, what is the point? Mate, that never goes away. That never goes away. This is the most used app on my phone. If you want to know what it is, it's YouTube Studio, and it's where I get to go in and be humbled on a regular basis. You see that latest video where it says 9 out of 10? That's YouTube telling me that I suck at content. That's it telling me that of the last 10 videos I've made, this one is currently number 9 performing. Number 1 is the best, by the way. It's humbling. And see, when it's number 1, it does a little firework explosion just to fuck with your head a little bit and keep you really chasing that dopamine hit. But look at the chart, right? Look at the chart. It's basically just under my usual performing valley of views. So just really letting you know, you suck. Come back and try again. Go away, make another video, and let's roll the dice of where you are in the 1 in 10. So that never leaves you. No matter how many. I'm sure Brian G. Johnson sits and looks at every one of his videos, and Andy Siglor at Popcorn Planet sits and looks at his videos and goes, 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10! Keep going. I advise you, go and watch a Brian G. Johnson video. Go and watch one of his where he talks about YouTube is trying to break you. YouTube tries to demoralize you. This is what I like. I can't remember if it was a Brian G. Johnson video or somebody else, and they were asking about people starting channels and should I start a channel? And I think I responded in the comments and said, honestly, most people shouldn't start a channel, because actually I don't think many people are cut out for the brutality. I mean, if you just want to make hobby videos, I've got another YouTube channel. I've made hobby videos over the years for me and my pals, me and my dad, that kind of stuff. You don't care about all of the details behind it. See if you're trying to turn it into an actual lifestyle or a business or anything else, it will break most people. That's the cold, hard facts. Cavill, there's nothing like a global chinwag, is there? Well, that's kind of what we're doing. Global chinwag with the rain pissing down behind me. Has anybody answered yet whether you can actually hear the rain yet, or whether it's still dumbed down? Come on, guys, don't forget. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. You can smash the like button and do all that stuff. And yes, it is a social media oligarchy. It really is. Sometimes you just look at it and you're like, there is just no rhyme or reason why some things go and some things don't. Like I say, 10 videos, roast beef dinner. Every other video, meh. Meh. Like, I'll show you. Here's what I'm talking about, right? Here's the history of the views on my channel. So first of all, I've just hit over 3 million views. You can see that roughly where my thumb is. 3 million views. And there's, you can see those spikes, right? That's me being the one-hit wonder, or, you know, the 8-hit singles. And then the rest of it is just a steady line, right, of regular views. Exactly what you're kind of expecting. And again, bringing it back to the point, if 1,000 people showed up here in the pissing garden, I'd be pretty happy about that. Now, let me show you. There you go. So in the last 3 months, my views have gone from upwards of well over 100,000 to 300,000 to 200,000 to 50,000 to 50,000 to 50,000. That's where it's at. This month is currently 56,000 views, just right there. That's where you can see it right there. And if I show you, that's what 2026 looks like. 2 massive spikes, and then the rest of it just doing what the channel does, which is garnering views. That is the platform. And I want to honestly be clear on this. I'm not moaning about it. I'm just talking about it. It's just the realities of it. I didn't leave with all of my eggs in a proverbial YouTube basket. I diversified my portfolio. Oh, sorry, I sound like such a wanker saying that kind of stuff. Cannot believe this rain. Absolutely pissing it down. That's one of those pool decks, right, that if you don't have your feet firmly planted, you could end up in the drink if you weren't paying attention. YouTube makes most of the money. That's why content creators need other sources of income. Yep, bang on. Can't argue with that. That's why people do affiliate links. That's why people do courses. That's why people do sponsorships. You don't need a massive audience to build money and make money on the platform. That's a given. For me, that's why like Patreon felt like the natural next step, because on Patreon, I can still make something and give you something for the exchange of a subscription. In the last week, this week, right? So see this week here, Monday to Friday, I made $1,000 trading options. And I started that process on Monday and I ended it on Friday. And on Patreon, on Monday, I wrote exactly what I was doing, how I was doing it. And on Friday, I wrote a blog that said, here's where I'm closing and here's what money I've made out of it. That's the kind of exchange that I prefer, rather than, hey, do you want to buy a leather comfy chair? When I'm like, I mean, why would I promote a leather comfy chair at this point? So, Baz, that is correct. I'm presuming you might mean the previous comment that you're talking about there. I've had sponsorships offers on my other channel, none of them look legit. Yeah. Do you know what's really good with this? I don't know if you do this, but if you have your mailbox connected to like ChatGTP, for example, you can get it to kind of review the offer. So I have my Gmail box connected, so I'll sometimes get it to review offers that come in. It'll check the email, the legitimacy of the business. Again, there's so much of that shit is fake, right? And you have to be very careful because that's how channels get stolen. People click on links, and before you know it, your channel's gone. Some rogue person has stolen your content from you. You need to be very careful with that. So you like trigger only fools and horses? Yes. It was so embarrassing. Yvonne was like, why are you calling him in? Called me right out in front of Lee. And I was like, was I saying that? Oh, mortifying. Oh, tell you a little thing. I bought a new camera yesterday. I went to the Low Yap Mall and I bought a new camera. And I'm talking to you now. This one here is my old camera. And I'm trying to think about what to do with it. And I might give it away. I'm thinking about this. I'm talking to you on my Osmo Pocket 3. And I might give it away in a competition to somebody that might want to start a YouTube channel or wants to make some videos. I'm thinking about doing that. Does that sound like an idea? Would somebody like to win a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 with a whole raft of accessories? But I yesterday went and bought a new camera. I treated myself, even though I'm not making any money on YouTube. I'm like, hey, let's throw some more cash at this and we'll buy a new camera. I needed the dopamine hit of like something nice happening. Can you see that? Can you see? I started my live stream over there in those seats. I was going to do this from those seats there. And then the rain came on and I was like, I better move. And now I'm here at a little bar area, kitchen area, undercover. And look at it. This is what I left the UK for. You see, this is what I'm talking about. YouTube doesn't send the notifications out. Wild. Hello, Mike. How you doing, mate? Hi, John. First time in your live chat. Thank you, mate. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Enjoying your thoughtful content for some time. Thanks, mate. As a Scottish DJ, did you ever come across Noisy Sean? No, I didn't. I didn't actually really have much of a Glasgow presence. Most of my gigs were all international. I played for a few different nights in Scotland, but not as many as I would have liked. Most of my gigs all came from like all over, really. So no, I don't know who that is, I'm afraid. I mean, I did go to plenty of club nights in Glasgow, the Archies and Park Chaos and the Tunnel and all that kind of stuff. When Yvonne and I, my wife and I, started going clubbing, we went to the Metro. The Metro in Saltcoats was where Yvonne and I started dating together. And so we went to Saltcoats a lot for many years before it closed down. And that was Joe Deacon, and then later was like Trevor Riley and Stevie Kerr. They were the hosts in there. I bet most of Europe wishes it had rain like this at the moment. The nice thing is, it's really warm. It's like, I don't know, it's like, let me look. It's 31 degrees, so it's comfortable sitting here. It's rather nice to just let the rain bounce down. Yvonne will be in the room, maybe watching this, maybe not, probably not. But she'll just be listening to the rain hitting off the roof because she loves that. It's very therapeutic. I work in digital and I'm wondering where it's ending up. ChatGPT Claude, well, I know. I mean, It really is fascinating just to kind of see where it's all going. I was watching a video earlier on. You've got like Squarespace, and then you have the company Wix, W-I-X, Wix is it called? I was talking about how that company's just gone absolutely tanking, mainly because you can build an entire website with like ChatGPT in minutes in Claude, right? Very easy to do, and just how much that's impacting web design. So I was watching that earlier, and it's fascinating, really, really fascinating. Can you do zoomies on your ergonomic chair around the garden? I do laugh when these companies reach out to you. I did reply back to that company, and I was like, I'm traveling endlessly. I'm a digital nomad. How would you get the chair to me? They've not answered me back, which is disappointing. Have you heard of a YouTube channel called Trek Trendy? They also do vlogs around. But thanks very much. I haven't heard of that channel. I've kind of got my routine of like who I watch and who I follow, but I haven't heard of them. Yeah, so the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P isn't available in Malaysia for another 30 days. I got an email from them yesterday telling me I might have to move here. Hold on. There's just a very slight smattering of rain. You know, like, it's that fine rain that soaks you through, as Peter Kay would say. And it's just hitting my keyboard. And the last thing I need to do is buy a bloody laptop. In fact, right, hold on. Let's see if I can do this without losing the live stream. Stay with me, people. We're mobile. Stay with me. It's all just getting a bit serious. I hope these are all still there. This is just adding to the drama of it all, right? Okay, that was getting a bit panicky there. My laptop was starting to get a little bit sensitive with the rain coming down. I don't need a moist keyboard. Right, are we still there? Check, mic check, 1, 2, are you still there? Oh, this is a bit high. Give me a little 1, 2, 1, 2 in the chat if you're still there. I don't know what the Wi-Fi is like in here. Look at how shiny my head looks now with the bloody light on top of it. That's what I need, isn't it? A light shining down, making my head look even fucking older than it already is. Right, let me see. Yes, so the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, it comes out in 30 days' time here in Malaysia. Now, I opted for the Insta Luna, because I just like it better. I've bought myself a little Insta Go Ultra, and that's what I've been filming the latest videos on. It's got a little magnet that I wear here, and then I can walk around with it and talk and shoot, and it's a little bit more discreet. And I spent days and days debating on whether to buy the Osmo Pocket 4 Pro and stay in the ecosystem or move to the Insta. And the thing I like about the Insta is that the front screen is detachable, and it's also a microphone, and I can walk around and talk. And so I spent ages thinking about which one to buy. And in the end, I went to the shops yesterday and I bought the Insta, or the 360 Luna. That's the camera that I bought. So I haven't even opened the box yet. I'm going to do that after I've had this live stream. And then this that I'm talking to you on right now, right here, the Osmo Pocket 3, I think I'll give it away. I think that's what I'll do. I just need to figure out how to give it away. What can I come up with as some kind of way to get names and suggestions, and then I can go from there. When are you planning to go to Europe? Next week. Next week. Away from the rain and the thunder. See, when the thunder comes on, what's the name of the band that's got this song? Thunder, thunder, lightning and thunder. Who's that? I know, I sing that song to Yvonne every time. It drives her mental. Hello, John. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Absolutely lashing it down. Better weather back in Scotland. And also better deep-fried pizzas. I could smash a pizza crunch. If there's one thing that I miss from Scotland, it's a deep-fried pizza. Crusty batter and a portion of chips on the side and salt and vinegar. From a proper chippy. Not one of these ones that does kebabs as well, because they're shite. Cost more than a week than John spends in a year. I actually priced, when I was buying the camera yesterday, I priced it up in the shops and it was 300 quid cheaper than it was in the UK on Amazon. And that's what kind of forced me over the line to buying it. I was like, I'm getting it. I'm going to treat myself. We have normal service. It looks like the garden is flooding. Look at the size of that flooding over there. Look at the size of it. I'm glad you guys stuck around to see me through the rains and the thunderstorms here. I'll tell you, this camera angle actually makes me look a bit slimmer. I've noticed that. It's because I've not got the wide angle lens on the camera. We just had a bit of lunch delivered this week. Oh, never mind the lunch. British Gas contacted me, and it wasn't to say we saw your video. The woman Rebecca, that I mentioned in the video, Rebecca contacted me and she said, I just wanted to check if it's okay to close your complaint now that we've dealt with everything. What do you think I said to that? Do you think, A, I said, sure, Rebecca, close my complaint down. Don't worry about paying me all of the compensation. Do you think I said, B, no, can I have my 30 quid that you owe me, please, Rebecca? Or C, something else? You can let me know in the comments down below. Fuck was that? You know, I will need a light to show off the old Turkish thing. And that's where I'm going next. I am flying to Turkey. I keep saying this. You think I'm joking? I'm getting the teeth done. Getting the teeth and the old scalp done. Then I'm going to fly on to Spain with the bandana on, all those other guys that are on the plane. Good post-production may take time for you to reframe the video. I don't know if I'm worried about that. All of the last videos that I've shot were on the Insta Go Pro Ultra, Insta Go Ultra. I'm terrible at remembering the names. And I love it. Just been carrying it around with me, making videos on it. No microphone or anything, just using the mic on it. The one mistake that I have made though is, see this? The DJI mic is for this camera. I've got 2 of these to do interviews and they don't work on the Insta. So that's a bit of a problem. I don't want to have to go and buy mics now. So I'm going to need to think about that. You want to have seen me in the shop yesterday. I was with Yvonne and Sarah Lee, as I'm now calling them. I was with Sarah Lee and Yvonne, and they were watching me trying to get through the mental gymnastics of buying this camera. It took quite some time. I'm like, I'm going to go buy it. I'm not going to buy it. Do I need this? Is it going to make any difference? Is it going to change my life? I should just get it. Let's price it up. Okay, it's cheaper than in the UK. I should just buy it. Do I really need it? Maybe I should just buy it the next time I come back. Maybe I should buy the 4P Pro. I'll go to the toilet and then I'll have a think about it. Went to the toilet, I came back and then I was like, I'm not going to buy it. And then I was like, I'm just going to buy it. And then I had to take the plunge and bought it. I bought it. That's a whole different world for me. Years gone by when I had a job, I wouldn't even have batted an eyelid. I would have ordered it and forgot by the time it arrived from Amazon that I'd even ordered it in the first place. And now I have to stand in a shopping mall sweating over the mental gymnastics of buying this bloody camera. And now it's in the room and I haven't even opened it. Yvonne, look, see the moment I paid for it. I videoed this, by the way. I videoed it on the Insta. See the moment that I bought it and I paid my card with it. Yvonne, who knows me so well, she turned to me and went, have you got the dopamine hit? And I was like, yeah. My brain was just flooded with all of the endorphins and the enjoyment of like spending some money for a change. And I was like, you know that way when you like have a really good meal, you get something ridiculous, you know, like say you have like say you have something greasy or like a good burger or fish and chips and you have a milkshake on the side and you take that big slurp of the milkshake and you just get that moment where you go, where your brain just floods. It was like that buying the camera yesterday. I will make it a raffle, but let's be honest, I need to get something out of it, right? I need to get something out of giving the camera away. And I know what you're going to say. Goodwill, John. Just the enjoyment of doing it. But I might need like an email address or something. I might need to get people to register in my newsletter and then I'll give it away to like the newsletter subscribers. Something like that. No, like nothing like you must be the top tier member of my Patreon. Like nothing like that. Just join my mailing list or something. Or be a subscriber and be on my mailing list. Some shit like that. I need to think about it. I need to get something out of it. I need to get something out of this transaction. I'm sure that's understandable, but I think I will give the camera away. And I'll do it when I get to Spain, because then it should be easier to post. I don't even know how the postage system works here in Malaysia. I've never even seen a post office here. I've never seen a postman. I've never seen a post box. So I feel like that might be easier in Spain. And also, our pals are coming to Spain to holiday with us. So I'll be able to give it to one of them and they'll post it, because 95% of the people watching this channel are in the UK. And if you're not, and you're in that 5% that's international and you win it, posting it from the UK will still be easier. Get yourself over to Malta and I'll take you for a pint. Well, I mean, that sounds like a good offer. That would be enough to take me to Malta. My whole sobriety phase has just gone to absolute shit recently. Yvonne and I had that medical test done, and since then it's just been a long, slow slide. Pizzas. We had tacos last night. We had a Burger King the other night. Like, I've basically had a medical that's told me I'm okay, and then everything's just gone to hell after that. I miss Marmite. There's definitely more things on my miss list than Marmite, but I hear you, mate. Right, so British Gas. Let's see what people are saying. Baz says C. David says B. Kaza says B. Anybody else? I can confirm B is the correct answer. I wrote back to Rebecca and I was like, I'm not closing the complaint down when you've not even paid me the right amount of money. You paid me 225 quid and it was 255 quid. So give me the cash. Geese my money. Stop trying to cheat me out. Now, let me also tell you, the insurance company, right? I made the video yesterday telling you that I was in arbitration. They had until the 29th of July to pay the fee, and wait for it, drum roll, they failed to pay the bill. The 29th came and went, and the arbitrator contacted them and said, you haven't paid the bill. You haven't even had the decency to contact us and tell us you haven't paid the bill. And they gave them an extension until the 31st of July, which was yesterday, to pay the bill, which is about $2,800. And when I was out with Sarah Lee yesterday, when Yvonne and I got back here to this apartment complex, I saw an email from their lawyer saying they'd paid the bill. So they've paid the money. So now, hopefully next week, the arbitrator, who's from Scotland, can start arbitrating the case. And somewhere down the line, I might get to the end of this last major trials and tribulations of almost falling deeply, deeply ill and having my insurance claim denied. Let me tell you this. We went to the TRX mall yesterday, met Sarah and Lee, and we went to a small tavern, a little bar, and I had a cider, Lee had a beer, and the girls had a glass of wine. And we did that twice. So 2 ciders, 2 beers, 4 glasses of wine. The bill in Malaysia was £75. £75 for a couple of drinks. This is why I don't drink. This is why I avoid alcohol, particularly here. Because it's mental. That was a tougher swallow than buying the camera. Can genuinely tell you that. Surrey Case did a full mouth reconstruction in Ho Chi Minh. Wow, 60% cheaper than in Canada. What was the bill, out of curiosity? That's my immediate dyslexia, right? Did a full month reconstruction. I'm like, a month reconstruction? A mouth reconstruction? Wow, that's crazy. Is that like when you get that? Is that like an underbite or an overbite and you get the jaw adjusted? I used to work with a lassie years ago who had that done. It was wild how much it changed the face when she got it done. I remember how long it took for her to recover from it, so that's wild. What else have we got going on here? Yes, it's a problem with these companies. Why can't they just follow the Bluetooth standards? I hear you. See, the annoying thing is this microphone. This connects to the to the Osmo Go Ultra camera with Bluetooth. But see, the new Luna camera, these don't connect to it, which is shit. Because I've got 2 of these. That's how I did the interview with Kelly and also with Paul when we did the interviews with them. And now I can't use these. So I'll probably keep one of these and I'll give the other one away with the camera. And I've got accessories like little lenses and all that black light lens and all that kind of stuff. I'll give that away with the camera. But I'll keep one of these because I'll record my podcast on it. Also, just mentioning that, if you haven't heard, my new podcast, my Second Wind episode 20, was posted yesterday on Spotify. The link is in the description of this live stream down below. And it's talking about being offered a job to go back to the UK. So if you want to know about me getting a telephone call from somebody saying, do you want to have a job? Do you want to come back to the UK? And what I think about all of that, go and listen to that podcast. Give me a little follow. I've got 59 subscribers on Spotify. Thank you so much to the 59 subscribers. I appreciate you. But But yeah, when you start getting into these ecosystem stuff, it's so frustrating, man. I like how you're able to just talk continuously in your videos. I'm playing, listen, if Yvonne was here, she would testify to this, right? There is a teleprompter. It's one of these ones that's voice activated. I tried making a video on it the other day. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't say it to you the way that I want to say it if I read it from this. And the only reason I got this, right, it's a little orange app. Can you see it there? It's called Teleprompter. Genius, right? But it's one of these ones that it scrolls whilst it's listening to your voice. So it doesn't go on a time. It goes like as you're saying the things, which means that if you go off topic a little bit, it pauses and then it carries on. So the minute that you come back to the same topic, now look at this. Look, I'm genuinely showing you this, right? This is the British Gas script from the video that I made about British Gas. And I tried to record it 2 or 3 times. And I said to Yvonne, I'm going to lose my mind. And I just stopped. And then I just made the video. Because I like, see when this is scrolling, I can't do it. My brain goes off on a tangent. And I want to fill in little bits or ad lib bits. And as soon as you do that with this, I can't do it. So I've tried the teleprompter thing, especially when I want to give very specific details about things. But I just cannot do it. I'll show you the closest that I get to all of this. See this? This is my notes for this video, for talking here, right? It says, oh shit, I forgot. This live stream is sponsored by Dave. Dave kindly sent me a Ko-Fi donation and said, the next time you do a Saturday coffee morning, don't put any adverts in it and let me sponsor you. So Dave sent us a couple of quid on Ko-Fi and I promised him I would mention it. So Dave, thank you so much. The next video I make, I'm actually going to put your name in it, Dave, because Yvonne and I said thanks when we had some cheese and wine the other night and we said thanks to Dave. So you're getting a double banger for your money here, Dave. But you see that? That's my notes. It says coffee sponsored by Dave, sponsorship, meeting Sarah Lee, Yvonne is sick, price of drinks, latest podcast, British Gas update, insurance update, shopping for a new camera, getting ready to travel, house sit is done, and I'm missing the gym. That is what I wanted to talk about today. And the only reason I do that is because I'm terrified. I'm terrified that one day I'm going to log onto this and nobody will be here and I have to talk and say something. And if I haven't prepared, I won't know what to say. So I write a couple of things down and then I start the camera. Unfortunately, today it said 0 in the top left-hand corner for about 2 minutes. And then it went 4, 8, 10, 12, and now it says 39 right now on the screen. I'll show you what I see, right? Take a picture of it. It looks like... That's what I see on my screen, right? So I've got the chat, I've got my notes, and in the top corner, which you won't be able to see, it says 40 people are watching. So that's the notes that I have, and everything else I just go off the cuff. But I've spent my whole life talking bollocks, many would say, and so I'm well versed in being able to just... I bought 60 eggs at Asda yesterday for £1.86, massive dopamine. I fucking love that, Bob. That made me chuckle, mate. I appreciate that. Do you think, for the British people that are here, do you think the person that put pen to paper on the Argos deal yesterday got a dopamine hit? Sainsbury's sold Argos for £120 million yesterday after they bought it for £1.2 billion. So Sainsbury's bought Argos for £1.2 billion and after ruining it, sold it yesterday for £120 million. And I'll hazard you a guess, How long will Argos now survive? I used to sell to Argos at the last couple of brands that I was at. I have a soft spot for Argos. Yvonne used to work at Index. Does anybody remember Index? The copy, like the Timo version of Argos. Yvonne used to work at Index, same style of company. But yeah, they were sold yesterday. Do you think the person at Sainsbury's who signed the contract got a dopamine hit or was like, thank fuck we've sold that? But props to you, Bob, on the eggs, mate. Ah, that's very kind of you, mate. I appreciate that. In return for your camera. I want your email addresses. In Malaysia service, we mostly use our courier services for packages. Our post office service is called would that be pronounced Poslaju? Poslaju? Thank you for telling me that. I really appreciate that. Every day's a school day. Just tuned in. Has he had a drink? Nope. This is just what I'm like all the time. This is just me all the time. John, what's McDonald's like in Malaysia? Do you know, I don't eat McDonald's. I'm too far down the rabbit hole of where all the meat comes from for McDonald's. And I know Burger King's not any better, right? But I just don't believe in eating somebody's granny for $4.99, also known as a Big Mac. So I stopped eating McDonald's ages ago. I eat Burger King. Now, I will say this about both of the brands. They have specialities here. They have little tweaks on things. Like you get natural cheese for some reason with some of the burgers here. I do eat Burger King occasionally when desperate, but I don't eat McDonald's. I gave up. Like I say, I'm too far down the rabbit hole of the conspiracy theories on that front. Have companies gotten worse these days? I mean, Baz, honestly, I think the answer to that is yes. I used to work at British Gas. I used to work at Scottish Power, the two companies that treated my dad the worst after he'd passed away. I'm glad he's not around to have seen the way that it was all handled. And I know fine well that British Gas, the people that I were talking to, were not in the UK. I think the call centre's actually in the main customer service team's in South Africa. I used to work with the girl who set it up. Didn't make any difference to the complaints process. I mean, at one stage, I've got the call log. I've got it downloaded, like the chat log. And it's me saying to the guy over and over, are you AI? Are you AI? You must be AI because nobody would handle this the way that you're handling it. And he kept saying, no, I can absolutely assure you I'm not AI. And I was like, well, these are doomed. 4 implants, all crowns, straighten out, 18k USD. Interesting point is the dentist was trained. And, you know, sorry, I'll tell you this. See, every doctor that I've seen in Malaysia when I was getting the surgery, they were all trained in Glasgow. And when Yvonne and I went to the health check, the doctor there was trained in Edinburgh. And that kind of made me feel that we were in good hands, not just because they were trained in the UK, but they kind of had a wee soft spot for us in the fact that we kind of had this wee allegiance where they trained in Glasgow and Edinburgh and we were Scottish, and they were chatting about their time in Scotland and how much they enjoyed all of that. Are you planning to do more interviews? Just whenever I meet somebody who's interesting to talk to. Yvonne and I are like loners. We just like spending time together, but we met Sarah Lee yesterday and I might try and interview them tomorrow before we leave. I actually had my camera with me yesterday, but it just wasn't the right time. We'd only just met them and we were chatting and just, they were Lee is, I think he said 51 or 52. Hope I'm not adding years to him. Sarah's a little bit younger and they've been traveling for a few months now. And they're here for a period of time and we might try and catch up with them tomorrow and I'll do an interview with them. They've got a YouTube channel as well and I wanted to give them a shout out. So I'm going to try and catch up with them tomorrow. But outside of that, it's just fine. Like, I've met other people and I've asked them and they didn't want to do it. So I've kind of got to respect that. When I met with Paul, when I first asked him, and he was like, he didn't want to do it. And then he had a bit of time to think about it and was like, okay. So sometimes I meet people and you don't want to just be like, hi, how you doing? Great to meet you. Do you want to do an interview? Because some people need time to think about it. They're not all psychos like me that want to be on the camera all the time and can just talk endless nonsense. Some people want to think about it. But I'm hoping to maybe catch up with Sarah Lee tomorrow. I'm never changing that name now. They're just always going to, every time I think about their names, I'm just going to also think about a lemon meringue pie. Every time I think of Sarah Lee, because that was my childhood. It's not authentic when you read off a script. I agree. When I was look, in the right circumstances, it's useful, especially for specific details. When I was trying to go through the script about British Gas and my dad, right? It was because it was like a timeline, and I had the timeline of the dates of when everything happened. And it was so that I could be like, right, on this date, this happened, and on this date. And mainly the reason I was doing that is because I've got to be very careful about talking about a big company that I'm not slandering them or saying anything that's not factually correct. So I was trying to be very careful to have the dates and to say it. And so the way this teleprompt works is it sits here and then it scrolls down as you're saying it. So it was just to allow me to be like, on this date, this happened, on this date, this happened. And the rest of it, I was kind of, I can talk around comfortably enough. So that's what I wanted it for. But I just couldn't do, I personally couldn't do it. So that's why I just got to the stage where I said, I'm just gonna have to try and say it and remember it as best I can, and deliver it. Now, on the other comment that's talking about the Living Free with Options channel, a lot of it's he's talking about options and technicalities and finance and money and stuff like that. So just to make sure you're hitting every key point, a teleprompter might be handy for that kind of stuff. But I agree, there's like a certain amount of passion and the right kind of spirit that you want to put into it that only really comes of just talking normally. So I totally get that. To be honest, you'll get a better service from AI agents. Have you seen the whole thing about like people on LinkedIn when they're getting approached for jobs and they're testing if the recruiter is a real person or AI, and they ask them things like, tell me the recipe for a cake, and because the system hasn't registered that might be a question, it actually answers by giving a recipe for a cake. And that's how people have discovered that a recruiter or somebody offering you a job is actually been AI. I've read about that online, and I was thinking about that yesterday, or during that chatbot discussion, where I'm like, are you AI? Are you AI? Because nobody really could just answer this the way that you're answering it. Layer upon layer upon layer, the real ones, so they say the Lee. Oh man, poor Sarah and Lee, if they're watching this, they'll be like, we've just met you yesterday and you've already got us down to just being a cake. But I would recommend this app if you want to give it a try. There's, like I say, there's a little button at the bottom where it scrolls based on you talking. So as you're reading out your facts and figures and everything, it scrolls down as you're kind of going through it. So it might be quite helpful. All recruitment companies are AI, more than likely. I wouldn't be surprised. Shiny coat, like late on the live. Oh, no worries, no problem at all. We've just been sitting here watching the rain and the storms and everything else. Just wondering how you made your last video update, the travel insurance claim accessible to members only. It was just I've talked about it in this. It was just a very quick blog that I posted. So, I mean, in terms of what was happening, it was actually included in yesterday's video where I stated what was going on, which was that the insurance company have failed to make the payment to appoint the arbitrator. It's like $2,800 or something. And they had a deadline of the 29th of July, and they missed the date. And then they were given an extension to the 31st of July, and last night they paid it. So the latest status is, once the money arrives at the arbitration company, the arbitrator will be able to start the case on it. That was it. I hope that gives you an update on that. Right. Any other questions? That's been a solid 90 minutes. We've had thunderstorms. We've had lightning. I look slimmer in this camera frame. I might actually have to keep this camera because I'm like, oh, hello. I don't look like the big fatty that started out this channel at the beginning of last year. I need to have a think about how I'm going to give this away, but I will give it away. Email registration or something. And in the next couple of videos, what have I got coming up? I've got some footage from Georgetown with Yvonne and I staying there, doing a night out. I've got my 6-month finance video. I'm doing that, but I'm really also sliding a thumb in there. 6-month video, which is how much money I've made from January till June between YouTube, Patreon, one-to-one calls, and options contracts. I've got the tax update to give you, HMRC, and then also relocation. So all of that's still to come in the forthcoming videos. And again, I said it earlier on, but thanks everybody for following the channel. Just from me to you, I appreciate everybody that's kind of stuck with all this content. As I said, I kind of feel like I'm a band or a musician, and all of these videos are the album. And I appreciate you coming to listen to the album and not just listening to the big hit singles and pissing off. So thanks, I appreciate it. And change the topic. It would not be the first time that I have been referenced to Pitbull, if that's where you were going with that. I actually had a photo taken years ago with a suit jacket and all that on, and I must have looked like that. He's absolute double, and I actually posted about that. I'll take it if only I could have the cash. Right, folks, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And Yvonne sends her regards from her sick bed, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right? Take it easy, everybody. Look after yourselves. See you in the next live one.